can't sleep when they leave. No Freddy is the Aztecs. That last tonight, Hoop Squad on deck. Who's next to fight?
They don't have the scorers on the floor. It's Butler with 2 seconds. He's got to put it up. He wins it with the jumper.
And there's no doubt about it.
A San Diego State miracle.
Trailing on the break, I shoot the three. There's nothing you can do with me. And ruthlessly, the crowd is telling you to get used to these L's you be taking every time you step into the V. IEJAS, cause we the best in home game energy. Got us ready to beat the rest. Last second shot, we down, you need a play. 3 ball in your face, hi, DJ Gay. He's living the play, reliving all the replay. He's just leading the way to MC double. Hey, Billy White, Malcolm Thomas, Brad Caldwell.
All right. What's going on, Aztec Nation? It is the Sons of Montezuma podcast, Kiss the Rings edition. It is our team preview. We want to thank everybody for joining the live stream. I am your host, Mateo. You can find me. You can see my name down at the bottom at Mateo San Diego. And these two gentlemen, it's kind of hard to tell. You guys are on my left on the screen. You cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain this man. He is playing. Well, we thought we were going to have his flu game tonight, but you know, when the cream rises to the top, there you will find SD Sports Fiend. Fiend, how are you doing?
The fiend of a microphone. I'm the microphone.
It was a long way to get here, but I'm here, so I'm ready to do this preview, man.
No shortcuts, man. No shortcuts on the way to glory. And of course, all the way from East Tahoe, well, Reno, Nevada, it's the sandwich aficionado himself, Mike Tortola. Mike Tortola.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Oh man!
For a minute, it's like anxiety ruled his face, and then he collected himself and moved forward, like he always does, with grace.
We need to give each other some space. Let's give each other some space here. Give some room. There we go. A little more comfortable. All right. You guys, all the watchers, and, you know, we thank everybody for joining on right now. Boy, you know, what a day, what a last few days from our NIL event on Sunday. Mike, I know you weren't there, but Fiend, we held it down for you. And, you know, Jaden Ladee, Lamont Butler, all of our supporters that were present, because it was a very limited, exclusive event. We thank you all for joining. And, boy, we had a great time, Fiend. I mean, you know, what was the best part of our NIL event with the guys?
I mean, you know, I think definitely just the interview with them, how intimate of a setting it was. And, you know, their personality really shines through in the interviews. I mean, they're just great quality kids. And I'm so happy that we were able to put that on, you know, for them, for the NIL, because, like, let's face it, these San Diego State basketball players don't make a whole lot of money, you know, from NIL. So every little bit that we can do for them, man, you know, I'm more than willing to try to help them, you know, and just showing our appreciation, our gratitude for everything that they do for us, man. Because, I mean, my life is just so much more joyful when the Aztecs are playing well, and they're a big part of that.
Absolutely. You know, I was, how do you say, I felt really bad that Mike couldn't be there, because truth be told, if it wasn't for Mike nudging me, dude, we got to start a basketball podcast. Like, I wouldn't have done it. And so, Mike, big appreciation to you, man, for, you know, just constantly poking me to do it. And, you know, like you said, Fiend, it's these, you know, experiences. It's just the love we have for the program and San Diego State. Like, it makes, you know, the Final Four run, like, so much joy, so much fun, so many good times and memories we've been able to build in now our third season here, right? Because we started 2 seasons ago, kind of like at the beginning of March Madness. So, hey, all you listeners, all you subscribers, make sure you are a subscriber if you haven't clicked yet on YouTube. We are crawling our way to 1,000 subscribers, and once we do that, a lot of things can improve. So really appreciate you guys' support, and especially at the NIL event.
Yeah, that was great, man. I'm glad you guys had a good time. It looked cool, and to get those guys talking and stuff like that. I'm still fascinated. You didn't ask him why he keeps calling that burrito a quesadilla, to be honest. But you know, I mean,
And
hey, come on, dude. That's not a quesadilla. That's a lot of shit in that burrito, dude. You know what I mean? Come on. But no, it looked like you could do, and like it looked like a fun time to kind of get together, and especially with that kid and that dad coming over from the haircut stop at the end to say hello. I mean, that just shows you what sports does for families. You know what I mean? Like it connects fathers and sons. And I remember going to games with my dad, and I'm sure you guys did too. And I think that's you can't get those memories back. You know, as you get older, you can make more money, you can, you know, take, you know, whatever, but you can't get the memories back of doing stuff with your kids, you know. So take every opportunity you can to do it. And that's what I do with my little girl. So that's I'm gonna try and get her to the Aztec game in Vegas, the second one. We'll see we'll see if I get that, but it's cool to see that. But I'm glad you guys had a great time.
Absolutely, man. You bring up a great point because listen, you know, us as sports fans, you know, seeing that young kid next door bring his father over, this event was enough. My dad even stopped by. You know, he rolled through and wanted to shake Butler's hand and say hello. So I mean, just, you know, so appreciative of that memory that was made. So hey guys, we're here for a purpose though. And like I said, thank you guys all for joining the live stream. We're here for a purpose because the Aztecs basketball season is about to begin this Monday, November 6th, I believe, against Cal State Fullerton. It gets real. It gets really real. And you know, last year, let's talk about it. Last year's results. I mean, the Aztecs men's basketball team undoubtedly achieved unprecedented success in the 2022-23 season. You know, the regular season, it had its peaks and valleys. Of course, they ended the year with a 32-7 record overall. And you know, the team won the Mountain West with a 15-3 conference record, which earned them the regular season title. And of course, they powered their way through the Mountain West Conference Tournament Championship as well. So postseason ball, you know, we all love postseason ball. Last year, pushing through College of Charleston, I believe it was, right? Furman next, then on to the Sweet 16, and that was it. That was our limit. That was our ceiling for so many years. And what did we do? Took down number 1 seeded Alabama in glorious fashion. Most of us were all there at Ale Smith. Don't forget to go get your Ale Smith, support those guys. We were all there for amazing watch parties. And then next was Creighton. Took down Creighton in the Elite 8 game, punching our ticket to the Final Four. An amazing experience in Houston where we took down FAU. And then, of course, guys, we met our match in the national championship game, falling to UConn. And, you know, no shame in that. I mean, I think anybody walking away from last season realized, hey, I could tip my cap. You lost to the better team. Nothing but respect. It was a very well played game. Okay. But that was last year. And all Aztec Nation is ready now for another wild ride. I know I am. Brian Dutcher, Coach Brian Dutcher, is in his 7th season now as head coach. And it's his 25th year on the Montezuma Mesa, guys, if you add on his time with Coach Fisher. So he has reached the Mountain West Championship game in all previous 6 seasons that he's been the head coach, which is, I mean, that's domination. And he's amassed a 151 win and 47 loss record, which makes his 76% winning percentage best in program history right now, guys. I mean, it's tops. 3 Mountain West regular season titles out of these 6 years, 3 Mountain West tournament titles, 6 tournament championship game appearances, 4 NCAA tournament appearances, NCAA South Regional Championship, and national runner-up. Guys, we got some banners to hang on Monday. Fiend, when you hear all of this, knowing we're coming into this year with all of these things now in our trophy case, hanging from the rafters, What do you have to say?
I mean, for me, it's almost like one foot is still in April at the Final Four, and one foot is in, today. And I don't think I've ever been this excited for an upcoming Aztec basketball season based, on the heels of the success last year. I'm not sure I should be as excited as I am based on what we have coming back and what we lost. But man, I mean, just to walk in that gym on Monday to get another ring, right? Because they're going to give all the fans rings that attend the game. And then to see not one, not two, not three, but 4 banners being unveiled. That is historic. It's going to be, as magic. Well, I think it might rival the scene for the Kawhi's retirement night. It's going to be there's going to be a lot of buzz in the building. I just can't wait.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can't wait for the environment. Cannot wait for the environment. Now, I don't want to diminish anything from the banners. I know we've seen a lot of postings today. 4 new banners that they're gonna hang. I saw somebody else comment. I think it was Kabir 30. Hey, I'm looking forward to the day that we can hang up Milky Phelps, Judy Porter, and of course Michael Cage's banner up there. But I digress. Okay, let's move it along because there's already questions coming into the chat. Rob, I see you. Thank you for the question. We'll get to you in just a second. Todd Regalado, man, his hospitality in Houston, getting us to record live at the Republic Boot Shop, the Republic Boot Company. That was tremendous in Houston. Still sport my T-shirt and my hat. Absolutely.
Amazing experience there.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about, guys? The team. Tonight is all about the team. So SDSU this year, we return 3 of our top 4 scorers, which is amazing. That's awesome off of a national championship contending team. But we do lose some very, very key players from last year's team. So who is gone? Of course, center Nathan Mensah graduated. He moved on from his time. All the best to him. I hope he carries on and gets onto a team. I know he was in the Charlotte Hornets organization for a minute. And of course, Matt Bradley. He looks like he's playing over in Europe, which is really, really cool to see. I think he's going to do big things. Adam Seiko as well. I believe, is he in Germany or I think that's what I saw. Adam Seiko.
He's in a second league in Germany. Yeah.
Awesome. Kashad Johnson, of course, transferred out, and we spoke a little bit of that with Lamont, which was a really cool conversation. Go check that out. He's at U of A, so hey, we got more to say about that. But Tristan and Tyler Broughton, I believe, and Jared Barnett, they've all moved on. And of course, Gweck, a rope. AG, he is no longer a player on the team, but he is on the staff. I think that's an amazing hire. I think it really shows Coach Dutcher and their vision and really their being able to sense the perfect guy who could just jump into that spot and be a mentor and really be a beneficial thing for both, I'm sure. So this is this year's team. The 2023-24 team roster, the walk-ons that I know of so far right now are Ryan Rad, 6'5", 190-pound freshman from Crescenta Valley High in La Crescenta. I believe that is in the LA area, guys. And then we're also looking at guard Desai Lopez. I just saw him on the roster added. I'm not too familiar, but he's a 6'3" junior out of Fremont, California, St. Francis High. Ryan Schwartz, 6'1" junior out of Miramonte High in Orinda, California. And Cam Lewin, 6'3", redshirt freshman out of Orr Academy in Chicago, Chi-Town. Fee knows a little bit about that.
Sure do. I actually talked with Cam at one of the events at Snapdragon. We were talking all about our affinity for Chicago food.
What did he say? What was his favorite food from
I think he was shocked.
Line?
He was shocked to know that there are 2 Portillo's restaurants in Southern California. His eyes just lit up.
Their pizza's bomb. Bomb. Okay, so we're going to go through the guys on the roster. First up, in this order that we are choosing, I'm going to hand it over to Fiend. Fiend, you are covering a guy that we weren't sure if he was going to be on the team this year because the word was that he was going to be in the transfer portal, and that is Cade Alger. What do you have on Cade Alger for us?
Well, I mean, I think Cade is just a great team guy. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get this year just because we again have a very deep roster. But I mean, hats off to him. The dude earned a scholarship, and that was a big goal of his. And I'm so happy for him and his family. I mean, we know him having met him at the banquet and just seeing him around. Just a super great kid, 6'9" forward, great team guy. He's going to provide a lot of depth. So in case there is an injury to a big man, we will have someone who has some at least practice experience that can step in and fulfill, a complementary role in the rotation. He wasn't at the scrimmage because he got his nose busted up. So he was sitting out. We didn't get to see him there, but Cade Alger, love the guy. Aztec for life. Glad he's staying home.
Wow. Nose busted up. Okay. Practice maybe, huh? Some fiery practice sessions.
Going up against Jaden Ledee, probably busted his nose up.
Well, Cade Alger is 6'9" himself. He's got a thin frame, but from what I've seen, the little bit I've seen, I really like his game. I hope he does get some more opportunities. It's going to be tough, but I hope he does. Okay, moving along, and that is one of the signings this offseason that everybody was excited about, including us, and that is Magoon Gwath. He is a 7-foot forward, true freshman. His hometown is Euless, Texas. Of course, he played there for 3 years, then went out to Veritas Prep here in California, in the LA County area. And just obviously, we covered him in one of our previous episodes in the offseason. Big 7-footer, but just a super thin frame. I know a lot of people have been asking, what do you guys think about Magoon? He's got a lot of upside, right? He has a tremendous amount of upside. When you're a 7-footer, the upside is through the ceiling, right? It's pretty safe to say I'm pretty sure he's going to redshirt this year. I think that's what everybody's talking about. He's I believe has been injured a little bit in this offseason. But the crazy upside is there, needs to bulk up, likely to redshirt, but some of the advantages of that, he's going to be able to watch the offense a lot, practice with the guys, as much as he can, but mostly really to absorb, I think, in my mind, the defensive mindset and the culture. That's going to be key. Just absorbing that energy, absorbing, the intensity from the coaches, really getting to see from the bench the guys, how they respond, and just adjusting to this level of college life. I mean, come on, guys, with all the players that we talked to, previous players, current players, college life, it's a challenge. The guys, once you get here on campus, you're in a fishbowl, as Billy White said, right? You're kind of like, you're on the coach's schedule. Your schedule is not your own anymore, right? And I think it was key that he went to Veritas, one of those really, really good programs to kind of transition and get you adjusted to. You're going to play D1, get that discipline in you. So I think Magoon's got a lot of upside, but probably won't see much this year. But hopefully he can gain a lot of confidence with his teammates. Okay, we're going to move forward. I see you guys commenting in the chat. Answer 321 says there's still over 100 tickets for Monday's night game. I wouldn't be too worried about that. 100 tickets, that's nothing. That's going to fly by probably this weekend. So I wouldn't even worry about that. But yeah, it's going to be sold out. It's going to be awesome. And Helika, I see you in the chat as well. Thank you for joining. We're going to move forward with DeMarshe Johnson. I believe that is DeMarshe Johnson Jr. He is a forward, 6'10", 205, sophomore, redshirt sophomore, I believe, out of Oakland, California. And DeMarshe is an interesting one to me, guys. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, He redshirted the year last year. He sat down as a redshirt freshman, didn't get a lot of playing time, so the stats aren't going to be there to really gauge anything off of. But he's a big body. He's a 6'10" kid. Thin frame as well. But we're going to need all that length this year. We're going to need every single inch of that length. 9 games off the bench last year on a stacked front court. I can't really say much about that. The pros to his game, we'll have to see. We got to see. What I want to see is energy. Energy. If you're going to come off the bench, you got to come in there. You got to maximize every minute you have on the court. Defensive pressure, we all know the culture is if you play defense, you're going to get minutes. So that's what I want to see. Do you guys have any opinions on what you want to see from DeMarshe? Mike, you got anything?
And I'm just kind of excited to see his potential. I mean, he's got the talent, and trying to break in with those seniors that are there and heavy with Mensa. There's 5th year, and Seiko, being there since 1995. You know what I mean? It seemed like, but it's opportunity. This is what these kids should want, is just, hey, you have an opportunity where there's a bunch of minutes who left in the front court for a team that just went to the national championship game. Why would you not want that opportunity? And they do. They all want it. You can just tell that they're going to get excited and play. And, Alger's getting his nose busted, and I'm assuming in practice, they're fighting for everything, obviously not intentionally to hurt him, but that's all you want is an opportunity. The rest is up to you. And I think he's going to take his opportunity and hopefully he flourishes.
Yeah, I thought DeMarshe looked really good in the scrimmage when I saw him in person. He's quick, mobile, for a big guy, can run the floor. He's really good in transition. He seems like he's picking up the defense pretty well. I think he could possibly fight for a spot in the rotation this year. He's like on the verge of either he's on the fence, basically, I would say. But I think he's got a good shot. And I think, again, like Alger, he brings a lot of depth to, the big spots on the floor, just in case there's an injury. I mean, because, it's a long season through non-con and especially the Mountain West, and it's going to be a battle inside. And so those guys get dinged up. So we might need him, at some point this season.
Very well said. Very well said. Okay, moving right along. Mike, you got this next player on the roster. It's a name everybody's excited about. I know I keep hearing people very curious about this guy, very excited about this guy, very intrigued about this guy. That is BJ Davis. What do you got, Mike? BJ Davis.
I love him. I love it. He I was reading up on him, and obviously we don't know as much about him. Modesto kid. I'm familiar. We have relatives up there. I've had some ties up to Modesto, but I mean, he was a 4-star recruit, and he just kind of kept getting better and better every year. And he was playing behind a kid who was apparently one of the top 25 recruits in the country. I'm not sure where he went, but then everybody started realizing, oh, wait, hold on a second. Who is this guy? And you read everything about him, and it's the let's just put it like this. It's a prototypical San Diego State prospect. I just want to work hard. I want to get better. I want to be a team guy. I want to go out and do what I want, whatever's best for the team. I'll play dirty. I'll play rough. I'll play whatever. He kind of reminds me, just the way he talks is, it kind of reminded me of Kobe. He'll go out and get you X amount of points, but he's like, I want your best defender or your best player. I want to defend your best player. These kids love LeBron, but to me, Kobe was that reminded me of Kobe. And so he kind of gives me a little bit of that DJ Gay vibe, He's a freshman, so it's going to be a big learning curve. But you got 2 really talented guards that are going to help you on the way and be able to get better each day when you're going up against them. So we'll see how much time he gets to play this year. I'm thinking he's going to get some, but I mean, this is a pretty high caliber guard that we got out of Modesto. So he's maybe not this year. I think he's going to play some, but he's going to be a very, very good player for us in the next 2, 3 or 4 years when he's here.
Definitely very excited. Okay, moving right along. Fiend, you got this next player on the roster, someone that we saw in the exhibition, had a heck of a play between him and Miles Bird, and that is the other Miles on the team, Miles Heide. What do you got for us, Fiend, on Miles Heide?
I freaking love this kid, man. He is 6'10", got college ready body. I mean, runs the floor really well for a big guy. We obviously saw that with the alley dunk. He actually has some range for a big guy. So he hit over 40% from three in high school. Now that 3-point arc is a little closer than it is in college, but he still can step out and hit some shots from the outside. Love to see that. He could break into the starting lineup at some point this season. But I think he's definitely going to see some heavy minutes in the rotation. The big question mark for him is, can he defend down low? From what it looked like in the scrimmage, he had no problem adjusting, switching rotations, and he did not look like a true freshman at all in that exhibition. So I think he's going to be a big part of this team as a freshman, just like Matt Mitchell was. Next to Ladie, he has the best size to guard bigs in the post on the team, in my opinion.
Very encouraging to hear. When I look at those measurables, man, and then just seeing him on the court in those highlights is something definitely to get excited about. Okay, Fiend, you got the next guy up as well, back to back, and another guy in the front court. We are talking about Elijah Saunders. Who do you got on Elijah Saunders?
Elijah had a body transformation in the off season, and he shed a lot of weight. Didn't lose muscle, but he looks thinner and quicker. And I think that's going to help him not only be able to battle inside with some big guys, but he's going to be able to guard smaller guys on the perimeter. And so I think he's going to be very versatile in our lineup. And I'm really excited to see his growth from freshman year to sophomore year. It's time for him to step up. We need him. We lost a lot. And so he's one of those guys that, like, if he takes a big leap forward, we as a team are going to continue to reach that pinnacle of success. But I think he's going to have be a very efficient and a good player for us on both ends of the floor. So it was very encouraging also to see him hit a three in the scrimmage. So, he's working on his outside game. Those big guys, when they get the ball, you need to hit those threes so their defenders don't sag down in the paint, and clog those driving lanes.
At 6'8", and what is that, at 240? No, 225, 230 or so.
He slimmed down probably about 20 pounds.
That's surprising, but it kind of tells how they want to use him, right?
Yep.
Okay. We're moving right along. Mike, you got the next player on the list, and that is Miles Bird.
Oh, man. I think he's oozing with potential. He obviously gained some weight over the offseason. Didn't play as much last year as we thought he was going to play. Played 4 games off the bench, mostly in the beginning of the year. But I mean, his talent is just, you can just tell by seeing the highlights. The steal and then the alley oop to the other Miles. We're gonna have to call him Eminem at some point, I think, maybe. But we haven't seen enough of him to really know what he can and can't do on the court. But from everything I've heard and seen in stuff like that with columns and stuff, I just think he's my guy who's going to take the biggest leap this year. He's the guy who's going to go from not playing that much to playing a lot. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time. And I'm really excited to see him play because he seems like he's got great court vision, great defense, great vision. So I'm excited to see what he can do, man. It's not a lot of stuff on him, game tape on him, but I think he's going to put a lot of great game tape up this year.
Is there a guy in Aztecs basketball history that he reminds you of? Because he feels like a throwback to some of those guys, 6'7", long, wiry, got the ability to handle the ball. Is there anybody that comes to your mind?
I mean, it's easy to say Billy White just because he's left-handed, but like, I don't know, man. Like I was trying to think about it and I think you kind of drift towards the left-handed players just because he's left-handed. But in terms of overall, I don't know. I think he's an opportunity to be a player that we just really haven't seen before, like almost like, he could play power forward. It seems like maybe a little bit of Winston Shepherd in him,
That's what I was going to say. Winston Shepard.
Yeah, with that power forward kind of thing is that could be an opportunity that I see coming out of him.
And Winston Shepard, when he came in as a freshman, he was very thin. So that's why he kind of reminds me of a young Winston Shepard. But I think I think with Miles Bird, I think he's a very cerebral player too. He's very energetic on the court. I mean, he got teed up in the exhibition. But I like that energy. I like that fire. I'm concerned about that. We don't have, guys with enough fire on this team, but he is one of those guys. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to see what he does this year.
I was gonna say that attitude, that fire is kind of like a little bit of Jamal. You know what I mean? A little bit of that intensity, that fun. You saw it last year on the run. Just that energy. You love to see that. Encouraging teammates, but not afraid to just be yourself on the court and bring it. So excited about that for sure. Okay, moving along. Fiend, you have the next player on the list, and it is senior Jay Powell. Love that name.
My guy, Jay Powell, 6'9", senior transfer from Campbell, just freakishly long perimeter player. I like to compare him to Jalen McDaniels. I know some people are not fond of that comparison and have been very outspoken on Twitter about it. I don't think he's going to have the season that Jalen McDaniels has, but he just reminds me of some of the skill sets, especially his ability to cut to the basket, hit how long he is, being able to guard on the perimeter. If you watched the exhibition, he was with Miles Bird pressing full court, and San Marcos, when we started doing that, they all kinds of turnovers. They had a heck of a time trying to get it past half court on those guys. And so I like that. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Dwayne Polee too, right? Top of the of the zone. And you just those long arms being able to disrupt passing lanes and really frustrate guys. He's got a good outside shot. He's likely coming off the bench, but I think he's going to get great minutes in the rotation. He's going to be a valuable piece on our team.
I couldn't agree anymore. Perfect, spot on evaluation. Okay, moving next. Mike, you are up, and that is talking about Reese Waters, a name that everybody was excited about when he jumped over from USC. So what do you got on Reese?
I love it. My stepmom went to SC to sort of steal a guy from her home water is great, But I mean, he's just a solid player. He's a solid player. 9.8 points a game, 3.2 rebounds a game, 1.1 assists, and 0.7 steals last year off the bench. 6th man of the year in Pac-12, which was a pretty good conference last year, if memory serves. 6'6", 212 out of the LBC. I mean, I think he's just going to be a really solid. I think he's going to start. I think he's going to start at the 3. You know what I mean? And just be a really good player. I think he's going to get his opportunity to start when he didn't up there and just excel, just jump off the page. And he's going to fit well with his team. And I'm really excited to see him play, man. Like, this will be his 3rd year. And it's going to be interesting to see him play with the new guys because you got to remember, all these guys have really only played with each other for 1 year. Lamont, Trammell, Jaden. It's not like not like last year where the guys played 3 or 4 years together. So I think he's a good fit, and he's a big body guard. And I'm really, really excited to see him play, man. I think fans are going to be really happy with him.
Okay. I think the shooting ability, right? His ability to stretch the defenses from what all the chatter is, he's going to be able to knock down a lot of shots. So
yeah, I mean, I think he kind of reminds me of Chase Tapley a little bit.
Okay, all right. Moving right along, Mike, we're going to stay with you because next on your list is a guy that you absolutely covet. He's got a little bit of dog in him. He's the Detroit bad boy, as Sons of Montezuma likes to call him. Go get his NIL shirt and a lot of different gear in the shop right now. And that is Micah Parrish. What you got on Micah? That's your guy.
I love him, man. I absolutely love him. That's my guy this year. There's always one guy a year you're like, that's my dude. This is my dude, man. Like, he is just he can be like a cold-blooded assassin. And he doesn't like, I know Fee was talking about the fire. I mean, he's got that fire. You don't have to be talking a bunch of rubbish to everybody. You can kind of see in their face and how they go after it and stuff. And I mean, remember he hit that 3 in New Mexico before Lamont hit the game winner to kind of put us there. If he didn't hit that, I don't know if we would have won that game, So third year, 3 years experience, 2 with Oakland, 1 here, and this is his senior year, so second year here. Bigger role. He's going to start. I think he's going to be. I don't know if I think we have so much talent on our starters. I think we have more athleticism than we did last year, even though we were more veteran last year. And he's an underrated rebounder too. He just has that high IQ. And, when he had 4 more rebounds last year, we were 19-2, and he had 8 against Alabama. He had a little shooting issue with Alabama and stuff like that. But like, he knows where the ball's going to be. You know what I mean? He scored double figures 9 times in his 4 games with 15 points plus. The Aztecs were 4-0. So he's going to get more opportunity, and some of these guys are getting more opportunity than they did last year, even though they played a bunch of ball. So he's going to be I said it last year. Now everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. I said articles, and I hear all this stuff. I said it last year. Remember I said in one of the last podcasts, I said, how good is Micah Parrish going to be next year? Hey,
I remember.
You know what? We're about to find out. I think he's going to be really good. He's not going to average 20 points a game, but I think he's going to average. I mean, he's probably going to have 12 and 6. That's my prediction for his average for this year.
I can't disagree. I'm really excited to see what Micah can do in a larger role and in this new field offense. Okay, I got the next guy. I got the next man up on a roster, and that is none other than Darian Trammell. Now, 5'10", he's one of the smaller guys on this roster, but I think we all saw, similar to Micah, Darian has got absolute dog mentality in him. When the Aztecs were on the biggest of stages, that's when he came through the most. When I think of Darian last year, obviously we think of him hitting the game-winning free throw against Creighton to put us in the Final Four, which was no easy task. In the Mountain West, he was the 10th in steals, 15th in assists. He averaged just under 10 points a game. Free throw percentage 74%, 3-point percentage 31%. So his numbers went down since coming down, taking that step up in level of competition, but not by much. And I think it's a little understandable. Your numbers are at stake. It's not the most accurate thing to judge on, especially with last year's team. It was just the style that he had to accommodate, not shooting as much. But when he first got here last year, those first couple games, I mean, he lit it up. 18 and 3 steals versus Cal State Fullerton, 21 points against BYU, 21 points against U of A, 13 points against Arkansas there in Maui. Then it kind of got streaky throughout the year. I don't think he would say any different. The season has its challenges, and the dynamic of the team was going through its changes. It wasn't until later in the year that I think you really saw him, and in the postseason, just really step up. 21 points against Bama, 12 points against Creighton with that big free throw, and it was just he rose to the occasion. Really showed no fear going against some of these top caliber teams and big men. I mean, we're talking Alabama, we're talking Creighton. Creighton had one of the biggest 7-footers in college ball. So just being fearless, that's the number one thing I take away from Darian Trammell this year. It's a little bit of a different mix-up, but I fully expect to see Darian, get in stride once he gets over this injury, because we know he didn't play in the exhibition. Any word? You guys have any word if he's going to be there on that opener? Is he going to be able to play? I haven't heard anything.
My guess is he's probably not going to play. That's
okay.
It's my guess. I think they rest him for BYU. I think it's much more important to have him versus BYU. That's a tough road game. I'm just a little concerned with the shoulder injury. Those guards when they're coming around screens, they're constantly getting their shoulders hit. So that's a concern. I'd rather just err on the side of caution and try to get him fully healthy, right, than have an injury, another injury, and then it just being a nagging injury throughout the season. So just get him healthy, sit him out until he's healthy.
I agree. If that's the case, and it kind of goes along with that dog mentality, the first thing I pointed out is just the size, but that mentality, sometimes it'll cost you a little bit. You want to play physical there in the paint as a smaller guy. Who knows? I can't speculate on everything on that injury, but absolutely err on the side of caution. Get him right, because he is a big component to this team. His scoring ability, the steals ability. I mean, to get in those passing lanes, he's that quick guy, that quick little guy that you need, and he proved it last year. Okay, moving on from one of the smallest guys to our big man. That is Jaden LeDee. Of course, you guys saw him, our one-on-one interview with him at CaliWare. LeDee, man, what an interview that was. 6'9", 240, senior out of Houston, Texas. Last year, I think he was most known for his grown man strength performance against Bama and his clutch points against FAU. But the number one thing last year, he was coming off the bench, guys. He was coming off the bench. It's kind of similar to Darian, the beginning of the year. He had some pretty impressive performances. 11 points for Fullerton, 23-6 against BYU. That was an amazing performance from him. Just dominated. 14 against Stanford, and then it just kind of hit a lull, throughout the year. Like I said, the dynamics of the team and the shakeup and just trying to everybody find their way. But in those postseason games, rock solid performances. Obviously the pros, there's a long list of pros. I mean, he's fast enough to cover a lot of defensive ground. He's big enough to muscle up with most big men. He's a relentless rebounder. His rebound, I think he was averaging close to 5 rebounds a game, and he was only playing, 17, 18 minutes a game. And that goes with his points. I believe he was only averaging just under 8 points a game. But his expanded role this year, it's gonna be a beautiful thing to watch. All his skill set, his talented offensive skill set out there, taking the ball to the rim, whether it's posting up or just attacking the basket. I'm eager to see his passing ability, because I know he's going to get a lot of defensive pressure being, one of our main big guys. The shooting touch, I think we can already tell they're going to let him shoot a little more from the outside, and I'm here to see it. The cons, okay, he's not a true center. He's not a true center on this team. We talked about it. We asked him, how do you fill in that gap? Losing Nathan Mensah, and he's just straight up, look, I'm not Nathan Mensah. Anybody expecting that, you're going to be sorely mistaken. I don't even think that's necessarily a con on him at all. It's just the team makeup for this year's team. There's going to be a lot asked of him. They are going to put a very heavy load on his shoulders to carry. Now, that's when things get a little tricky in my mind. I think AG on the coaching staff is going to pay dividends on that. We'll get to that a little later, but that's my take on LeDee. I think this is going to be a breakout year for him. He's got to stay out of foul trouble, though. Okay, moving right along. And last on the list, Fiend, it's all yours. Mr. Lamont Butler. What do you have to say about the man who made the greatest shot in San Diego State basketball history?
Well, I hope he hits a couple more this year for us, man. That would be amazing if he did. No, I'm really excited that Lamont is back. Because he's back, I think that puts us at the top of the Mountain West. We have the best defender, arguably could be one of the best perimeter defenders in the country. He's absolutely going to erase the other team's best player. We saw it night in, night out last year. I don't expect that to change. Offensively, I think he is going to have to step into more of a Bradley role. I don't think he's going to have to shoulder all of the load, but he's going to have to be a little more assertive on the offensive end and look for his shot and take those tough shots at the end of shot clocks like Bradley did. So He's a great floor general. He and DT are going to hold down that backcourt. And I'm looking for a big year from Butler. Definitely first team Mountain West. And if he plays really well, especially in the tournament, that could determine how far we advance.
Okay. Guys, that is the complete team roster. A lot of new faces, familiar faces. What does it all mean, though? What does it all mean? How will this team play? Who knows? But, Mike, in your opinion, what's the biggest difference between last year's team and this year's team?
They're more athletic. This team is more athletic. They're younger. They're not as veteran, obviously. They're more athletic. We're going to play fast. We're going to be a lot. There's going to be more passing. I don't think we're going to get as stagnant as we were last year, to be honest. There was times we were stagnant. But they're going to play fast. I think they're going to run and gun, man. It's almost like going to be like I'm not going to say it yet, a little by Slamma Jamma. That kind of pace, I think, is what I'm kind of looking for. Now, are they going to do it? I don't know, but they have the potential to do it. And so, like, I don't worry about the height. I don't worry about, this and that. Yeah, the only problem that Jaden's going to have is if he gets in foul trouble. And then guess what? Hey, Mr. Miles Heidi, you get an opportunity to play. You better take advantage of that opportunity. You're a freshman, but you're still a big boy. You know what I mean? So Jaden's girth, I guess if you want to put it like that, makes up for him not being 7'1". But how many guys are you really going to see that are 7'1" that aren't? I guess how many guys are going to be 7'1"? They're going to be physical and big like Jaden is. There's not many out there, and if there are, they're probably not playing in the Mountain West. Let's just be honest. They're playing at Connecticut or UConn. Or Kentucky or that kind of ilk. So I think we're gonna play fast. I'm curious to see how many guys we play, because after those 6 or 7, I'm glad we got Waters and
yeah, we're going to get into that, I think.
Yeah. So that's my philosophy. Sorry.
I see you, Barry Alman in the chat. Jaden is a mix of Billy White and Tim Shelton. He will be your team leader with Lamont. I can't disagree with that at all. Thank you for joining the chat, Barry. I love what you do. Very much appreciate what you do. Lamont's confidence will allow him to lead. I agree with that as well. Fiend, how will this team move on without Mensah offensively and defensively? He was a big part, of the defensive makeup of this team. So how does this team move on and play without that?
Well, I think in our interview, Jaden Ledee basically hit it right on the head. It's going to be a collective effort, right? So it's not going to be one individual guy, denying someone at the rim. It's going to be guys coming to help, off their guy when needed to try to block shots. He said, he doesn't need to block every shot. He just needs to contest, right? If you can contest, then maybe you can alter a shot. So on the offensive end, I expect us to like Mike said, I expect a faster pace. And Coach Velasquez, I think he said on the EVT podcast that they're going to play quicker. They're going to move the ball side to side. And we saw that. That's exactly what they did in the scrimmage. And so it's a lot of fun to watch that ball movement. Last year's team had a lot of specialists on the team. You had a specialist sharpshooter and 3-and-D guy in Adam Seiko. You had a rim protector and Nathan Mensah. This team this year, exactly what Mike said, more athletic, and it kind of reminds me more of like the 2014, 2015, 2016 Aztecs. The older school Aztecs under Fish. That's kind of how this roster is built. You've got tall. I will say this. One thing I noticed at the scrimmage is these guys didn't look really tall, but they looked long, if that makes any sense. They have really long wingspans. And so I like how athletic this team is, and I'm really excited to see. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun. It's going to be showtime.
Showtime in San Diego. Okay, here's a question with all this excitement. Who do you guys think is going to be that 6th man off the bench? Last year, a couple different options: Micah Parrish, Jaden Ledee, Fiend, in your mind, who do you think is going to be that 6-man type of guy?
My guess is it's going to be Saunders off the bench. I know he was in the starting lineup for the exhibition. Once DT gets healthy, obviously he's going to take back that spot. It could be Miles, Heidi. It could be Jay Powell, but I think Saunders. He's been there a year. He has some experience under his belt. Knows how to play the Aztec way. I think he'll be the guy.
Mike, anything different than what Fiend is saying? You got a different guy in your list?
I mean, I like that one. I was more like kind of trying to figure out what he's talking about with 14, 15, 16, to be honest with you. But that's okay. He was thinking about like 10, 11 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I think he hit it on the head, as he usually does. So, I would agree with him on that.
Okay. All right. Kashad, I think we talked about this already with our interview with Lamont Butler. Kashad Johnson was an emotional spark plug. I think we tapped into, Bird having some of those attributes that can step in and kind of replace that type of an element. Is that pretty unanimous? I mean, I'm excited to see who else is going to step up. I know Lamont saying he wants to be that voice of joy, that joyous voice out there on the court and be more vocal as a point guard leader. So a lot of different things that we can point to fill that void, but not every team is going to be the same, right? This team is not going to be last year's team. This year's team has a very, very insanely tough non-conference schedule. It's one of the toughest that we've had in years. Mike, you got anything about this out-of-conference schedule?
It is the toughest we've ever had, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it's the toughest. But you know what? It's the Michigan State style of scheduling, especially with the young kids, freshmen and stuff like that coming in. I mean, let's just be aware that we're going to struggle with some of these teams, man. Like, these are good teams. Gonzaga's veteran, BYU is veteran. They got a lot of transfers that came in, including a kid from KU. St. Mary's is good. So, and you can't really, put piss on the guys from Cal and Stanford too. I mean, they're still, D1 athletes, but this is the toughest we have. Last year was very tough. I think this one is a little bit tougher than last year. So, as fans, we need to be aware that, we're probably gonna lose more than 7 games this year, dude.
Are you telling us how to fan? Don't tell the fans how to fan.
I'm just saying, man, I'm being honest, dude. I'm being honest with you guys. Like, I know everybody's excited about this year, but I'm not as excited as I was last year. Straight up. Yeah.
Oh,
last year
man.
I was pumped because I knew what we had. I don't know what we have this year yet. I know what we have in the first 5 or 6 guys, but after that,
can you believe this guy Fiend not as excited as he was last year?
I'm gonna get a meme with me pouring cold water over someone or something like that. I'm just saying.
When you take it one day at a time, one game at a time, how are you going to know what you have?
Allow yourself to get caught up in the moment, Mike. Don't be such, the coaches, they could focus one game at a time. We could dare to dream and look ahead.
I'm just trying to make it. It's 9:13. I'm trying to make it to 9:15 here. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing
cold water on their excitement, Mike.
I'm always excited for this team. Last year was the most excited I've ever been for San Diego State team. And this year I am really looking forward to I want to see how this team plays against Fullerton and then BYU, because BYU always gives us fits. It's always a good game. It's always a kind of a rivalry game. I want to see where we're at by after Thanksgiving.
Okay, so this Monday, November 6th, Cal State Fullerton, first game at home. I think there's no illusions. Everybody's gonna be hyped. I don't think that's gonna be the biggest stumbling block in the season. But then Friday, at the end of next week, November 10th, on the road at BYU in Provo. We talked about it with the guys. That is a crazy environment early in the season, so they got all the hope. We got to travel into that. It's a huge arena, and this, man, anytime we go up there, they're gonna bring it. Those rivalry days, I wish we still had those rivalry days against those guys. Mike, you're a realist, as Angelica says. You're a true realist, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I respect that. I don't want you to tell any lies.
I dream. I have some.
But you said something very strong about the BYU game. Very strong.
I think we're gonna have a real problem up there, dude.
Is this just the state of Utah?
Yeah, no. I mean, Utah, the Mormons are running around their bikes, and they're all the players are like 34 years old with 7 kids. It's like they're coming back from their mission. It's like, geez, bro. Like, I just think we're gonna have some trouble up there, man. It's the first true road test for some of these guys. It's a big game for them, for us. They're a good team. They've got a couple of transfers, like I said. I think if we win that game, we're gonna be off and running. But I think we're gonna have some trouble up there.
Jimmer ain't coming back, man. He doesn't have any eligibility left. He does not have any.
I hope they win.
Okay, well, that game's on ESPN Plus, I'm seeing, which is an absolute mockery. That's a travesty. That the game better be made on ESPN, regular ESPN. But okay, moving along after that, Fiend, you got any thoughts on the next 2 opponents? Because it is Long Beach State on the 14th, which is a Tuesday night at Viejas, and then we move on to the tournament in Las Vegas. We got anything on those couple of games that we face in November?
Starting with Long Beach State, I mean, I think they're going to be a pretty good team. They're going to be a pretty tough test. They should finish upper tier of the Big West. I know, like, Mike doesn't like the KenPom rankings, but they're KenPom 120, which is not bad. Like, that would be a decent Mountain West team, or so 120 is not terrible. That's not going to be just a pushover game. They've got a 6'10", 230-pound big guy, 13 points, 10 boards. That's going to be fun to watch him and Jaden go at it. KenPom has the score prediction, SDSU 79, the Beach 65. But, look, we struggled with UC Irvine last year, so you never know with some of those teams. This is the reason why our one of the reasons why our out-of-conference schedule is so difficult. Then you move on to St. Mary's, obviously revenge game, right? We were all there in Phoenix. I was punching my fist on the, at the bar after the game, like punching my fist on the bar table.
We were so mad after that game. Like, we were furious after that St. Mary's game in Arizona last year. Like, it's so funny to look back and think about how we were acting after that game, meeting up at that spot over there. I took you guys to by the arena. I mean, it was like the world was over.
Well, I think we expected them to play much better than they did, and they came out so flat, no energy, and that just it just kind of pissed you off a little bit. I mean, it did me, and so that was very disappointing. So I hope the guys are up for that game. They want that revenge. St. Mary's going to be good again. They're probably going to contend for the for the West Coast Conference title. They got Aiden Mahady coming back. I mean, 6'3" sophomore guard from around Miles Bird's area, 14 points a game, 39.7% from 3. KenPom has the score prediction 65 SDSU, the Gales 64 on the neutral court in Vegas. So another tough test. And who did St. Mary's lose to last year? Connecticut in the round of 32, 70 to 55. So very evenly matched teams. I think it's going to be another tough game. We got to come out and play better than we did last year.
We're going to have to rename KenPom to FiendPom. Yeah. Bringing it.
Hey, is that kid still on the team whose mom you upset? You upset his mom?
No, he graduated.
Oh, okay.
He graduated. And that's that. I don't think they're going to be as good defensively as they were last year. That Logan Johnson was a great defender. But yeah, I did piss off his mom when I started whistling when he was shooting free throws.
Can you please stop doing that when my son's shooting? And then as soon as he started shooting in, Fiend's right in the whistle. He's like, no,
I don't care.
Fiend don't care.
I don't care either.
Fiendsterdamus saw that coming a mile ahead. He's like, I don't care.
But like
He's
that,
got-
like last year for that game, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was like, there's no energy in this crowd. There's no energy on the court. And so I walked over to the other side where a lot of the Aztec fans were, and I'm running up and down the stairs like, come on, get up, let's go. We got to get going, and trying to get some energy and excitement in there. But we needs to be player driven, and we need to have, just need to play better and be more energized.
It's going to be an interesting game because it's in Las Vegas in that Continental Tires, whatever tournament or whatever it is, that 3-day.
Yeah, during the F1 race too, so no one can get a hotel room. They're so expensive. So I don't know how many Aztec fans are actually going to travel to that.
I'm on the cusp. I'm on the verge. I'm on the verge of making it happen. It's a weekend before Thanksgiving.
The Friday before. Yeah. I mean, I feel like State, for some reason, they struggle in those day games, those weekend day games. We've had issues, consistently through history. We've always had issues with day games for whatever reason. And I'll tell you what, Fiend, that was Matt and I were so happy when you ran across the other side. It was so quiet. We could just sit there and enjoy the game. Oh, he's gone. Okay. Oh my God, we can just relax.
But if I go to the game in honor of Fiend, I'm taking my Aztec death whistle.
You have to, yeah.
Yeah, you have to. Like I said, I'm gonna try and go to that Sunday game. Whoever we play Sunday afternoon in Vegas. So
I'll give you the cowboy hat. You can wear the cowboy hat there.
All right, I'll get one.
Okay, possibly on that Sunday, if they make it past St. Mary's, they get to play either Washington or Xavier. So that'll be a toss-up. We'll see about that. Either way, it'll be quality competition. And then they come then they got another weird game against Cal, November 25th. It's a Saturday at 4 p.m. and it's in San Juan Capistrano, played at a high school, J. Sarah Pavilion High. It's a really odd situation that they set up. I mean, I'm not sure why exactly they did it this way. It's at the same day as the Aztecs host Fresno State, the final football game of the year. I'll save that for another podcast another time. But I think it's a 4:00 tip-off. So some people are saying, yeah, I'm going to try to make it to both. Man, we'll see. Cal, they're not really one of the top, quality teams in the Pac-12, but they're still Pac-12 as far as this final year goes. They returned their leading scorer, Devin Askew, I believe, and two of their other top 4 scorers. So they've shooken up their roster a bit. I don't know too much about them. They've got 2 Texas Tech transfers that are solid. I'm definitely not going to this game. I hope if somebody goes, let us know, because that will be a interesting venue for this game against a Pac-12 team. It'll be packed, of course. It'll be packed.
Oh, I'm going. I got tickets. I'm going.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We still have a football team.
Yep.
Oh. No, mamas, don't go there. Don't go there.
Okay,
It's homecoming week, man. Come on, don't go there with me. It's homecoming week.
Dude, I watched the game with Cody. Like Cody, who will be up here when we come up to the game here, and it was unwatchable, man. But whatever. I mean, we got basketball and we're good to go.
All right,
Braden,
it's a basketball podcast.
Braden Eeks, I see you. He says if the football game is at 7:30, a lot of people should be able to make both. But I'm all about the tailgate, so that's the best part for me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to make that tailgate. I'm all about the tailgate, but yeah. Okay, after that game, then it is November 27th on Monday, Point Loma. We host. What are they? What are they? Are they the Sea Lions?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, beautiful campus. Love the Sea Lions. Spent a lot of time up there with my buddy. Went there. Coach Justin Downer. I think that's a familiar name. He got promoted from assistant coach there, and I know Aztec Nation. They know who Justin Downer is. Very cool guy. I got to meet him, and all the best to them. They're a really good team at their division, at their level. That program is very, very solid.
Yeah, they're ranked.
Yeah,
they're ranked preseason.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, I think that's awesome. But yeah, that's going to conclude our month of November, our first month of basketball in November. There you have it, guys. We'll take it month by month. We're not going to go through the whole season right now. There's a lot of basketball to be played. Guys, it's getting late. How do you guys feel about some shot clock questions? If you guys listen to the Kiss the Rings episodes, you know we shoot our shot, man. We shoot our shot. We got some takes. We're not afraid to say them.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, how we feeling? You guys warmed up a little bit after all this?
I was born ready.
All right. Basically, each guy gets a shot clock's time to answer and give their best answer, and they try to convince you. And now that we are on a live stream, you, the audience, you guys in the comments section, first off, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. But down in the comments, vote. Let us know who convinced you that their answer was right. Of course, I hold the deciding vote as host, but okay, let's do it. So, first shot clock question. We'll let Fiend answer first. Okay.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Let's see. What
And we all know everybody's gonna get in the heads up. It's all good.
Don't get me activated, Dave. Don't get me activated. We all know this, but you know, we have hope. Keep your spirits high. Okay, Fiend, first question on the shot clock timer. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay. Toughest game out of all of these in November that we listed. Give us your best argument on why your answer is best, and choose wisely because Mike gets you can't pick the same team. So shoot it.
It's got to be St. Mary's. They are KenPom 38. Bart Torvik loves them at number 12.
Oh my God.
It would be a very difficult team for us to play against. Again, they bring back their star. They beat us last year. They owned us last year. So we need to bring it. That's going to be, I think, our toughest match in November. And so St. Mary's is the team.
St. Mary's is Fiend's choice. Okay, guys, let us know in the comments after Mike gives his case who got the answer right. Mike, are you ready?
Yeah.
Shoot it.
Well, I can't. It's got to be BYU. I think we always give us trouble every year we play them. Last year they played us well when we were a better team. I think the last 4 games we're both 2-2 with each other. And in Provo, with all the Mormons and stuff like that, it's tough, man. So I think BYU is going to be our toughest game, and I would be thrilled if we come out of there with a victory.
Why you gotta clown on the Mormons, man? Is that your inner show? Is that your inner show coming out?
No, man. Like I had it. No. Mm-mm.
Okay, guys, who won that round? I'm seeing Braden. He's saying if it's not Xavier because they're Big East legit, then it's St. Mary's. So I'm gonna side with Braden, and that's Fiend. Fiend got the win on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Fiend. Braden called it.
I will say, Braden, I would agree with you if Zach Fremantle was playing. But he's going to be out until January with the broken foot. He is their stud, big guy, 15 points, 8 boards. So, no, we're not going to face him. So, yeah.
Fiend, Stradamus, regular James. Fiend on that round. Okay,
Fiend. Hold on. Who's going to play, Fiend? Washington or Xavier?
That's a very good question. I mean, I would probably lean towards Xavier, though.
Yeah, me too. I'd rather play a Big East team.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay, guys, next round. Mike, I'm going to give this one to you. Equal opportunity here. Give you a chance to get off the ground first. Okay. What is your over-under for total wins this season for the Aztecs? We went through the month of November, but looking at the whole year because we're yet to play a game, what is your call? What is your shot for over under on wins? Shoot it! Oh, what? Oh,
season?
Oh, No, well, no, regular season, man. Regular season. Come on.
How many
Come on.
games do we
Regular
have?
season. Let's go. Shoot it.
24.
What's that? What's that?
My over-under is 24.
24?
Final answer, Alex.
Okay. All right. He didn't need a shot clock for that one. He didn't need a shot clock for that one. Okay.
We have 6 straight years of 21 seasons, so it's going to be 20 plus, but I'm going to shoot for 24.
Well, thank you for elaborating on your answer because that wasn't very convincing to the audience. But you know,
Hey man, you know, foolish man tries to rationalize another man's feelings. You know?
Okay, Fiend, it's your turn. Try to sell your answer a little better than Mike did. Mike, you know, come on, you can't just throw numbers out there. You got to shoot your shot. You got to back it up. Let's go, Fiend. Shoot your shot.
All right. I think I'm going to give a Price is Right answer here, and I'm going to go one under, Mike.
Come on, man.
23 wins. I think this team is going to struggle a little bit early on compared maybe to last year. And I think because, you know, we got a lot of younger guys and we had more maturity last year. So I think we could lose some games that we might have won last year. So 23 wins is my prediction. I think we're going to, as we go through the year, going to get stronger, and we should, you know, carry that momentum into the Mountain West tournament on a winning streak.
Okay. All right. So Mike says 24 and Fiend put in a Price is Right 23.
And we're talking just regular season, not conference tournament, not the NCAA tournament.
Okay. Angelica says Fiend. That's her vote. Rob says 27. So that's Mike's. Okay. Braden, 31st game might be a difference in that. So extra wins 27-4. Okay, everybody's saying they're siding with Mike. They're taking the over. Mike, you win that round. You even it up. Even the score up with Fiend. You got it. Okay. Last question on the shoot your shot game. Guys, we really need your votes on this one because this is absolutely it's totally opinionative. All this stuff is opinionative, but this is a strong one. Okay. I'm going to give Fiend the first take on this one since we started with him. But Mike, you get to hit cleanup on this. So, okay, Fiend. Who is going to win the team MVP this year for your Aztecs basketball team? Who do you have winning the team MVP? Shoot it!
I think Jaden Ledee is going to win the team MVP just because he is our biggest asset as a big guy. He is dominant down low. No one is going to be able to stop him. He's going to have a monster breakout year, cleaning up on the boards, scoring at least 15 points a game. So double every night you can expect from him. First team All Mountain West. Jaden, I think it would go to Lamont Butler, but that's split between him and DT.
Why you threw that? He threw that last second in there. Lamont, come on, man. Stand behind your shot. Shoot the shot and you know, look away. Don't even look at it go through the hoop, man. Just, you know, have some confidence in there. Okay, let's go, Mike. You get to shoot the final shot of the game, of the live stream. Who is your team MVP? Shoot it.
Lamont's going to be the team MVP because he's going to run the offense. He's going to run it through Jaden and stuff like that, and he's got the ball in his hand all the time. Lamont's the guy, dude. Like, he's proven that. So Jaden's going to have a huge year, but Lamont's going to be the MVP because, you know, without him, I don't know how far we're going to get this year.
Okay. That's a quick shot.
How do you like? I feel like if you have to over-explain your
early shot,
right? If you have to over-explain your answer, it's probably not a good answer. You know what I
mean? So you want a fast-paced offense. You're not playing Princeton ball where you're milking it.
This year are going to try and be like offense, fast and efficient, and high efficiency ratings because I don't want to hear Fiend going stop. All right, enough.
He doesn't care about shot selection. He just wants to put it up.
I'm like Swaggy P. I'm like Swaggy P when he threw up that three and he missed it after he's walking back. Remember? He threw up his hands.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. All right, everybody. Let us know in the comments who won that round. Oh man, I'm stuck personally because Fiend had some really good data. The Fiend, stats and all that fiendology. Regular James, I agree with both. Very good answers. Steve A. Fiend is right on Ladie. Melanie, yes, Ladie, X Factor. Angelica, Mike. I feel like we're stuck. Barry Alman, Jaden. Man, okay.
How about this? You should have asked this answer. Who's gonna be the sixth man?
I mean, you guys answered that one already, but we didn't put that up for the shot. This one was high pressure
I think
stakes.
Dean and I need to have a bet for this year.
I think the counts are in, and I think 1, 2. I'm gonna give it to Fiend. I think everybody's saying Ladie. I think Ladie's got it. Well, it's all fun and games. It's just our opinions. Whoever wins it, this team is not about that. So, but of course, this team, Fiend, he's all about that. He wants the recognition. He wants the glory. Fiend, congratulations. You won the first live stream. Shoot your shot.
Your house is haunted. I hope your house is haunted.
Thank you so much. I feel so honored to win the MVP award over Mike. It was such a hard-fought victory, but I just put in the extra work, and the hard work pays off.
The grind.
Hey,
grind, yes.
I was rooting for you.
Everybody, we thank you guys for joining us on this live stream, our team preview. We had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Thank you guys for all the comments. Braden, I think we will try to do this a little bit more.
Yeah,
guys,
seriously. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for the interaction. Appreciate it. Made it a lot of fun.
Yeah. We're all excited for this year. If you guys see us out at the game on Monday, definitely don't be afraid to say hello. Don't be afraid to wave your rings, our replica rings that we're all gonna get. And definitely check out our online shop. Everything that we do here, guys, is purely because we love the program. We try to do NIL for the guys. I hope you guys all appreciate it. And you can show your appreciation. Definitely subscribe. Check out the online shop. And, man, we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully we'll do this again very, very soon. Mike, you got any parting words for the live streamers?
No, man, enjoy it, man. I'll tell you what, this is the toughest time of the year for me. Moving from San Diego up here, this is the toughest time because I can't tell you how much I love Aztec basketball, man. It eats at my heart that I can't be at those games because that's what I built my schedule around. So enjoy it while you can. I'll be trying to be down for some games and, have fun on Monday night.
Fiend, any parting shots?
Hey, I'm just really excited. Can't wait for this season. I can't believe it's here. And just thank you all for, listening to our podcast and looking forward to many more. It's going to be a fun season. It's going to be a great season. Looking forward to interacting with all you guys, whether it's at tailgates or events or at the games themselves. So let's go Aztecs. Let's kick some ass this year.
All right, before we go, Rob, definitely tailgate this Saturday. Anybody who's going to the football game, we are out at the grass by the trolley park. And come find us. We'll be there. It's homecoming. Show up. We'll have fun.
100%.
All right, guys. On behalf of SD Sports Fiend, Mike Tortolata, Mateo San Diego's, find us at sonsofmontezuma.com. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.
We need a 3, so who's your bet? Coach looking down, probably Medi Chabet, but it's Medi Chayet. The French phenom, in fact, he could probably knock it down anywhere on the map. But James Ray Hines catching out goal too, and even driving dimes if he's not looking at shoes. A-Dub, Sling 2, catching all the G's.